Hello, Dave. Will Samples here. These are your carburetors. I want to give you some handy hints on this video about installation. When you're going to install the carburetors with using brand new rubbers between the intake, between the carburetor and the intake manifold, and also the special wave washers that go in there. And I'll make sure we discuss that and that you got the wave washers. And what you can do first off is get the two carburetors mounted, but have them mounted loosely so that you can then install your air log. Nope, I forgot I dummied this up to the support rod underneath there. So what you can do is install the air log. Okay, the carburetors are loose. You can actually kind of move them up and down a little bit. You haven't tightened anything on your engine yet. And what you do is you put this air log in place, and then come in here and snug down the carburetors. That way you don't have the problem of snugging down the carburetors and tightening everything up first, and then coming along later and figuring out the carburetors are in the wrong place. So install your air log first, then snug down the carburetors, and at the same time double check underneath that your support rod is in position, and that your support rod is going to attach. Let's get underneath here. And that your support rod will attach where it's supposed to on the air log. This is very important. Let me switch over to macro, see if you can see better. And make sure the air log is going to attach here properly. Excuse me. One of the things that people do, ordinarily this bolt is free, and you just run it through like this, but assembling all this on the car is a real major pain, and what people are doing is brazing this bolt onto the top of this rod. Makes your life a lot easier when you're trying to do some assembly work. Now then, let's go over the carburetors. One of the things you're also going to do when you attach the, let's see, put this back on the stand. Okay. One of the things you're going to do in terms of attaching the carburetors is when you attach these fuel lines, spin that fuel line down there and use 2 wrenches in order to snug it. You want to keep this fitting perfectly still while you tighten down this other fitting, and that's all there is to that. That's it. That's the installation right there. Same thing over here. Spin it down, snug it down while you hold the lower fitting. That's it. In terms of tightening the carburetors themselves, use a crisscross pattern. Don't tighten one nut and bolt all the way and then go to the next one and then down like that. You could do a crisscross pattern, tighten them up a little bit at a time. In terms of the carburetors, got new throttle shafts. We've also got new butterflies. The throttle shafts are riding in bushings where they didn't ride, where there were no bushings before. And then we've also got the shafts are now plumb with the bore. Mounting surfaces have been machined. We've got here and here. Also mounting surfaces on the bottom and the top have all been machined. Got a factory needling seat. Got factory gaskets. You can tell because their color is red. Spin down here. You can tell this is a red gasket here, red gasket here. That's aftermarkets are black. Idle mixture screws have been machined, so they're now perpendicular to the carburetors. When these things came out of the factory, nothing was plumb and square on these carbs. They just, made them and threw them out the door as quickly as they could. Let's see, we got helicoils installed as need be for the air mounting air log studs, and underneath here. Anodized aluminum plates have been installed on the base to help reinforce the carburetors. and to replace material that's been machined off. All steel parts have been cadmium plated, not zinc, but cadmium. Let's see if we got. I mentioned the mounting gaskets here. Don't forget the carburetor support rod. And let's see, in terms of the linkage, on the linkage, all you got to do is follow the factory instructions, which I will send you, for all the linkage rods that go from your foot feed all the way up to this rod right here, this cross shaft, and then all these rods are set at the factory. The last one over here, this last rod, is a turnbuckle. And what you want to do is get all these other linkages adjusted factory, and then this last one here, you simply adjust it to where when you snap the linkage on this ball and on this ball, nothing else changes upstream. You just want to snap it and nothing changes. And that's the reason for that turnbuckle. Although there is a published figure for that distance, don't use it. Just lengthen that rod exactly to fit your particular carburetors. Fuel system is critical on these vehicles. You've got to have clean fuel. You've got to have a rust-free tank. Clean your fuel filter. Make sure that if you see anything in your fuel filter that looks like fine sand or red dirt, make sure you get rid of it, because that's rust, and you got to find out the source and get rid of it. Trying to think what else. I also suggest installing an extra inline fuel filter between the original fuel filter and the fuel pump. And one thing you can do to test your fuel system, make sure there's no leaks, is gently pressurize your gas tank and watch all along the fuel system to see if any fuel comes out, seeps out if things get wet. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, just give me a call. I have to make this installation video short and sweet so I can get on YouTube.